I'm going to discuss the different types of relationships based on what I've been exposed to in my previous experience myself, and some toes are going to get stepped on. Some people are not going to like what I'm going to say, but I need to clarify the different stages of relationships because some of y'all getting it all mixed up. If you're friends with benefits, you're friends with benefits. You have a great time when you're together, and that's it. That's not your boyfriend, that's not your girlfriend. When you're boyfriend and girlfriend and you're running out here talking about wifey and fiance, and there has not been a proposal, there's not an engagement ring, and there's no deposit placed on any reception hall for no invitations designed, no, you're not fiance, you're boyfriend and girlfriend. To put it even further, when you are shacked up together, been there, done that. When you are shacked up together and you're running around calling them husband or wifey, and you don't have a marriage certificate and your last name has not officially changed, you're not married. That's not your husband, that's not your wife. Don't play with the institution of marriage. It's nothing to play with. You are shacked up. And on another note, if you say you are married and you're not living in the house with each other, how about this one? You haven't talked to each other in God knows how long. You don't even know where the other person lived, but you're telling the whole world out there that you are happily married. Happily married. You don't even know where this person is. That's delusional. Now, if you're legally separated, you're separated, that's fine. Admit that. If you're married and you're pending a divorce and the other person left, okay, that's a different scenario. But don't sit up here and pretend that the situation exists and it doesn't exist. There is a difference between all of these different scenarios, and people are trying to make it something that is not. It's a very hard lesson to learn. You may wish that it's at another level, but it's not what it is. And this is where you and the other person needs to sit down and have a conversation and decide where you're going to go from that point. Because apparently you're not satisfied with the way things are. You need to sit down and decide, you know what, we are together, but we need to decide where this is going to go or where it's not going to go. And a lot of you are afraid of having that conversation because you're afraid of what the other person's going to tell you. As I stated before, I've been down on both sides of this. But it's best that you know where you stand now and deal with it mentally. Because all those things that you're saying in the street about how your boyfriend and girlfriend and that's your fiance, people can see that you are not nowhere near getting married. And they probably know something about the other person that you don't that clearly indicates that they're not heading in that direction. They've seen or heard something that shows that they are not at that level of commitment with you. Now, I'm not talking about the ones who are faking the front. I'm talking about the ones who are honestly living the way that they're living, and you're putting up these little fake labels. If you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend, and both of you agree, do that and use that label accordingly. Don't turn around and say that you're engaged and nobody has a ring, nobody's talked about marriage or future living arrangements. You haven't made any invitations. Most cases, you haven't even met each other's parents yet, or grandparents, or whoever it is that raised you. But you're out here in the street talking about my fiance. The only reason why that you're doing that is because you're trying to ward off people that might be interested in that other person. That's your so-called marking your territory. That's what the dogs do when they go pee on the trees. And this is no better. But it doesn't change the situation. If you want to be at that level, you need to sit down with that person. Y'all need to have a discussion and make it happen. But don't lie, because people out here in the streets already know you're lying. And they're going to suspect, well, why is she lying? There must be some problem somewhere. And 9 times out of 10 there are. Address them. Because if you don't have that level of communication, you're not going to that next level. I don't care how much you figure in your mind, it's there. It's not going to happen. Just saying.